We're going to be big underdogs, but I already told the kids out there, we're going to play one play at a time. We're not going to listen to all the talking. We're going to go play one play at a time, and we're going to give East football a chance up there against the big boys.
Did they have a chance? Yeah, they had a chance, but man, once Cibolo Steel gets going, it is really tough to stop them. How about first play from scrimmage of the game? Steel's Bryson Denley goes to work, reverses field, and 67 yards later, he is gone. 6-0 Steel, 25 seconds into the game. That kind of puts to rest any illusions you might have had. Knights D would hold, and then it was L.G. Williams to Antoine Wesley. 2 touchdowns on the Knights' first 3 offensive plays. East couldn't get anything going on offense. They didn't get past midfield until their last drive of the game. Jalen Harris, quick shovel pass here. Steel wins it 48-17, ends a great Wildcat season at 10-3. Greg, you were there. Tell me your thoughts on the game, what Weslaco East showed you, what Steel showed you, and just we talked about the gap earlier. And is it a size gap or is it a speed gap?
Yeah, that first play is all you need to see. With them, it's definitely a speed gap. You see how that guy, he's bottled up and they're in the right spots and they're where they need to be to make a play, and he's just so much faster that he's going to go all the way around the other side and beat him to the sideline. And it was across the board that team was just so much faster than Weslaco East. Their defense was just always able to swarm to the ball. And on offense, they were able to reverse field whenever they needed to and find the openings. And you saw, like, on that sweep play there, they just can get to the edge whenever they wanted to. And so that was the huge difference, was just the speed. And Weslaco East doesn't have what it takes to match that.
And Weslaco East, you know, you heard Mike Burgett talk about Weslaco East football. Joe, their first touchdown was a passing touchdown. Darren Rivas to Ciro Rojas. We think it might have been their first passing touchdown of the year.
I was going to say, is that the first of a mini first of a passing game from Weslaco East? You know, I said it all along. Weslaco East needed to have a passing game to go up there into a round 3 football game and have a chance to win that football game. That first running play, the guy was directing traffic like it was a kick return. I mean, that's what they show. They, like Greg said, they can backpedal. They can backpedal, regroup, and say we can still use now speed. We use power if it's not there. Okay, we'll regroup and speed. And you know, with no passing game at all. I know they had a terrific run. I know they were a great running football team. But to say that you want to go up there and win a round 3 football game, you got to have it in your back pocket at some point in time.
Well, to be fair, they did have it in their back pocket. They finally used it. As a matter of fact, it was the only thing that got them a score in the first half. But the good news, Lupe Marone was able to play this game. We didn't think he was going to be able to because of his sprained ankle, but he comes on, almost gets 100 yards, gets a touchdown. Good to see him finishing up that way.
Yeah, because he had a marvelous season, and he looked pretty good in this game. I mean, like we talked about, there was no room to run, and he was bottled up the whole game. But when he had some chances there, especially early in the second half, he made some positive things happen for them, which is a good way for him to close out his career.
Yeah, 2,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, nothing to sneeze at.
So much for, hey, he's coming from a small school, he'll never make it in the big schools, in that conversation. He did earlier, but I mean, yeah, great season for him.
Yeah, and let's just talk about what Weslaco East has established here. A perennial contender. Greg, you said it in your article for the Monitor this week, the only 6A team with 10 wins in 2014. That's pretty impressive right there. I don't think anybody would have guessed that. 7 wins a year since 2007. In 2007, I think they finished 4-7, still made it to the first playoff. But ever since then, 2008 on, only Sharyland and Weslaco East have had that many wins per year. Greg, you know, what Armando Cuellar started and what Mike Burgett is continuing there, that whole East Side, Strong Side thing, it's gotten them to be one of the best programs in the Valley.
Yeah, you talk about, you know, the speed and the size gap with these schools, but there's not a strength gap with Weslaco East. Those guys can contend in that way. And Burgett has this plan where they're going to run the football and they're going to play defense, and hopefully that's going to make for a short playoff game against one of these teams where if they can go on a drive like they did to start the second half, almost a 9-minute drive, you put a couple of those together, you play a close game in the 4th round and the 3rd round, and maybe you move on. So I think that's their plan going forward, and I don't have any reason to believe that they couldn't, you know, pull something like that off in the future.
Yeah, get your powerlifting in, make it a short game. It's a decent strategy, and it could pay off for Weslaco.
Yeah, any program that wants to get their kids in shape for playing football, look at what Weslaco East did. I love going and cover them in the offseason. When you go in the weight room and there's more kids than there are machines. They're just standing 10 deep waiting to get in line, and they're not just going through the motions. They're working. So, you know, he's got the right mentality as far as getting him in shape to play the game of football, and no secret, they win around here for sure.
Yes, they do. All right, we are coming right back on Sunday Sports Extra. Going to talk a little bit about Brownsville Rivera hitting the end of the road as they face the Brandeis Broncos, and Tom Chavez and his incredible career still going. It's all next.